We reached the old Boy Scouts of America camp, and it's like stepping into an off-roading theme park. A boot camp for Bronco owners. The cold morning air is crisp. This is the kind of place that gets your adrenaline pumping just by being here.
Good morning, we are in Nevada at Bronco Off-Roadeo, about a 40-minute drive outside of Vegas.
The sun is still low, casting long shadows across the rugged terrain, and you can already feel the buzz of anticipation from everyone around us. This isn't just any off-road adventure, this is Off-Roadeo. After a quick check-in, it's time to dive into the morning training session. The vibe is laid back but focused. You can tell that everyone is here to learn, and it's clear these instructors have the patience to guide us through every detail. They break down the basics, but they're also pushing us to think critically about how to handle different obstacles, whether it's navigating a steep incline or through a rocky trail. The instructors take us through the basics, going over the Bronco's advanced systems, different goat modes, hill descent control, trail control, and other features. Even with experience, there is always something new to learn. It's all about fine-tuning, making sure that you can get the most out of the Bronco's impressive capabilities. There are plenty of other videos of the training session, so I will be focusing mostly on the trails themselves.
Alright, so right now the Bronco is going to be in four-wheel drive. It's going to chime because the door's open. That's totally fine, Kevin. And on your steering wheel, I'm going to jump in for a second. Let's turn to the passenger side quite a bit. Keep going. Full rotation. Right there. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to hit OK to clear those. And I see the 4 high. Beautiful. Park the brakes on. Love it. All right. Now, we're going to go to 4 low. Just press 4 low. And what does your screen say? So his screen says shift to neutral. What do we do? Shift to neutral. And now listen.
Telling you. It changed.
You guys hear that little clicking noise down there? That's the transfer case disengaging from higher range and then engaging into low range. It's pretty cool, right? Once in a blue moon, if the gears aren't aligned, it'll say shift delayed, drive forward. All that means is drive forward another foot or so, and then the gears will be meshed and lined up, and then it can do it. And then it will say stop, go to neutral. These things will literally tell you what they need from you every single time you press a button. Okay, they're too smart. All right, so now we're in neutral, we're in 4 low. Now, Kevin, go back to Peter Park for me. I want to show everybody this. Now, our next step, we said we were going to go to manual first gear, right? So, Kevin, right here, foot on the brake. Now, pull that shifter all the way back and see where it stops you. Yep. Okay, it stopped him at drive. There's secretly a safety lockout in between drive and manual. Okay, and that's a good thing, because if you're late for work, if you're hustling to get to Costco, okay, and you slap that shifter into gear, you don't accidentally put yourself into manual and hop onto the freeway and just, let your Bronco really
Rev up.
rev to the moon. Yeah. Okay. So D for drive is that safety lockout. What you have to do is just click in that shifter one time and click it back one more time. There it is. And now there's manual. Now, on your screen, you see the letter M and a number. What do you see? M2. M2. Why are we not in first gear? We're dead stopped. Isn't that interesting? It's what? It's too low. Yep. Yes, first gear, when we are in 4 low, is such a low and aggressive gear that the Bronco typically skips it. It's like, hey, we don't need that right now. That's for like the hard stuff. But we want it because we're maximizing our engine braking going down this hill. Okay, so Kevin, what do we do? How do we manually select first gear? Hit it. There we go. You heard the click?
Yeah.
Yeah, so now this thing just shifted down to first gear because Kevin said, I am the captain now. All right? Yeah, I am the captain now. I got a little scared. All right. Good job, dude. So now, that is what it looks like when we go into 4 low, and that's what it looks like when we go into manual first. We're all going to do this a million times today, and we'll all be very proficient with this stuff, okay? Beautiful. Nicely done, man. Now, time to send you packing. All right, so there we go. I'm going to spot you up to it, and then
I'll catch you on the other side.
We're going to see how you do, Kevin. So, slowly come at me. Nice and easy. There we go. And now let's start turning passenger. Good. Keep coming. And hang tight. No brakes. Trust fall. Okay. Fall. Okay, here we go, man. No brake lights. medium.
Nice and slow.
But did he hit the
coming.
brakes? That is the cherry part there.
A little bit passenger for me. One more slice passenger. Nice and slow, nice and slow. Get ready to stop in 3, 2. Ooh, stop.
Yeah.
We're a little
That
low
sounds a
riding
little
today.
expensive.
All right, we're gonna do our parking procedure here. With this, we're in manual gear right now, so we have to go up 2 to go to neutral. So we've already turned on our parking brake. Now we're gonna go up 2 with our shifter to neutral. From neutral, take your foot off that foot brake. Once all the vehicle's settled, awesome. Now go into park. Perfect. You can turn off during us outside.
In the Badlands, your first edition, your Raptors, your Bill Straubs, and your limited heritage, you have a feature called a stabilizer bar disconnect, or stay bar disconnect. It's our very first button, so great. There we go. Alrighty. Yeah, we're bouncing this thing. Alrighty, so we just saw that activate, right?
Yeah.
Now, one thing that really separates the Bronco from the competition are the independent front suspension. And so we have a sway bar in any other vehicle, but Ford calls this a stay bar, does the same thing. And all it's doing is limiting and bounding our suspension up front to limited spectrums to keep us safe at higher speeds. But when we're going slower in a Badlands or the other 4 trims I mentioned, we can disconnect that stay bar. Disconnecting it allows your independent front suspension to travel their full capacity at will. Alrighty, so let me see. Okay, so on our screen we have a gauge pulled up. It's our pitch and roll meter. It's showing 11 degrees front to back and it's 17 degrees left to right. Alright, so everyone always has to ask, what number do we flip at? Alright, that's always the question. Guess what? It depends. Yeah. There's not one number that Ford can give to guarantee you flipping and doing whatever. There's so many variables that play a role. Your tire pressures play a role in your ground clearance and how high up you are. What if you have the entire aftermarket catalog bolted to your roof? Your center of gravity is in super high. What if you have a massive family and they're all smushed up against the right side of the center? You're going over, right? So there's really no way to just say what the definitive number is. Now that we are in this compromised position, we're still super stable. I mean, they're not going anywhere.
Honestly, I can't even watch it.
It's crazy. Oh, come on. Alrighty. Now, how do we get out of this? We're going to steer downhill. Always steer downhill, okay? Whenever we get people into these side tilts, we always notice that sense of panic. They always immediately panic, steer uphill, and then gas it. We don't want to do that. You want to keep your foot on the brake and steer downhill. Let gravity work with you. Don't fight it. All right? So, Grace, start turning passenger without rolling forward. Just start turning that wheel to the right. There it is. More. Good. And already the Bronco's starting to settle down a little bit. Now, Grace, watch Danny's hands. Go on forward nice and slow. Beautifully done, Grace.
Little bit, one slice, thank you. Keep it that way as you move.
Beautiful.
One more slice that way.
And even that pace that she's cruising at here, I love that. She's not chopping that pedal. You know, she's not making the Bronco press suspension with her brake usage. Everything's nice and smooth.
Oh yeah.
That's how it should be.
We just picked our green Bronco. Wild track. Fleet consists of Everglades at the front, a handful of Wild Tracks, Black Diamond 2-door, 4-door Black Diamond. I don't see any Outer Banks or Big Bends. Lowest trim would be a Black Diamond. Badlands and Wild Tracks are the more popular ones. Blue, one of my favorite colors, just like Bubbles. And then Juan and I are driving in the green, Eruption Green Wild Track. We spent the last couple hours doing our seminar and learning about different functions of the Bronco.
Our group heads out in a convoy, led by Trevor up front, with Juana and myself at the rear. The first section is fairly mild, hard-packed dirt with some light rock patches.
Alrighty, so hopefully this radio doesn't die on me. I've already killed 2 radios, but as you guys notice, I've been talking about this little yellow window. You will then see a gray blinking icon right by your speedometer that says 0. And if you see icon, that's how you know you are officially in hill descent control. Now, if you guys have gotten this successfully, give me a thumbs up and hold it out the window. Better than a middle finger, and I see everyone. There's always one. Hey, take the pedals, just steer this thing, and hill descent control will get you down safely. Here we go. Don't touch any pedals, it'll interfere with the technology. Brian, beautifully done. Look at that. Just let it keep on crawling. It'll think about it. And you're just stay to the right. That slide is very normal. You're just stay to the right at that fork.
Beautiful. There you go. Unwind that wheel a little bit now. Yeah. There you go, Grace. All right, Kevin and Paul.
On the way. So here we go.
We just finished the first short, easy trail, tested out a bunch of different features, some that I didn't even know existed. So that was good to learn, good experience. Now we're going to go have some lunch, get some grub. We just finished a delicious lunch, and now we're going to go hit the afternoon trail, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
This is a tiny, tiny wheel lift. Look at this. All right. But remember this morning I said something about differentials. They send power to what? To wheels, yes.
The easiest one.
The easiest one. This wheel's not spinning, but that one is. Now, this one over here is spinning, but guess what? That one over there isn't.
Okay.
So these ones are not, those ones are. This is called being cross-axled. Does that make sense? Because our axles are front, even though we have independent front suspension, our CT axles are all favoring this line, and the back is favoring this line. So we're going like this, okay? Cross-axle, all right? When that happens, that's putting tension on the chassis through suspension, and that's lifting wheels. When wheels are lifted, we have less contact with the ground, and now we're basically stuck, okay? Gentle throttle, very slowly. Our goal is to crawl through this stuff slowly with control. Look at this. And we're good. So nice and slow, not any faster than this. Nice and slow.
We did learn that if your Bronco doesn't have locking differentials, you can still trick the system into sending power where you need it using left foot braking. Keep your right foot on the throttle and lightly press the brake with your left foot at the same time. This forces the traction control system to step in, slowing the spinning wheel and redirecting power to the wheel that actually has grip. It takes a little practice, but when done right, left foot braking can help you crawl through tough terrain even without lockers. It's a great technique.
There it is, Kevin. Beautiful. Beautiful. Nicely done. Keep coming. Okay. All right, okay. What do we do? Hit it. And come forward slowly. There it is. Look at that.
So we are officially getting to the rougher part of this trail, and so we're going to take our speeds down to a balmy 3 miles per hour. So this is where the coffee cup rule really applies. How are trails ranked, and what have we been driving on as far as rankings go today? In the world of off-roading, for the most part, trails are rated typically on a system of 1 to 10, 1 being the easiest, 10 being the hardest. Everything we've done so far, honestly, has been a mixture of 3s, a couple 4s in there, here and there, maybe a sprinkle of 5. But what we have coming up ahead of us here is going to be about 5.5, maybe borderline 6. And if it were raining or snowing right now, the loss of traction in the next part of this trail will definitely turn it into a 7.
It's mid-afternoon, about 3:30, and we are headed uphill. This is a fun, bumpy, rocky terrain that we're going up. I've got the rear locker on, and we hit one spot where we had a little tricky trouble, so we'll just put on the front locker and it pulled us out no problem. But then we turn that off because I don't want to be running front lockers unless we really need to. We drove to the top of the mountain. Oh, sort of, not really the top. We drove to a part of the mountain. Well, it's getting dark out, and our guide Trevor's decided to squeeze in an extra trail before we head back for supper. So I'm glad we're doing that because I'm not here to eat. We are here to have some fun. You can't see too much, can we? We are at 25 degrees, going downhill. We also are driving this with 35-inch tires, and I'm used to driving with smaller ones. That looks pretty steep.
Hey guys, when you get to the fork in the road on this trail, just stay to the right. Stay to the right on that fork in the trail.
Expensive noises. Good thing they've got dash plates all over, right?
We may have missed the fork. There was a fork. Did somebody go left at the fork?
I think Richard did.
No, we stopped.
Okay, well, why don't y'all go and then we'll back up.
All right, just please be safe. One Bronco is fine. Taller if you need more flexible. You got 8 foot clear to back up. Straight up.
Back en route.
All right, good job, guys. Stay into the right.
This is Tail Runner at the end. We've hit our first fork in the road. Are we taking the yellow left arrow?
Tail Gunner, at that very first fork for you, stay right. Stay right at that first fork. All right, so Tail Gunner, you're at the very first fork, you said?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we should be staying right. You said somebody went left?
Grace said, but she's back, yeah.
Okay, all right. Sorry guys, sometimes the night driving, I love the night driving, it's some of my absolute favorite, but it is really hard to keep track of stuff because there's so many different ways to do things and see things, and it is harder. It's a challenge, but it's very entertaining. It's Jason and Kristen. We're at the end of the line right now. All right, good copy, guys. Good copy. A little musical chairs never hurt anybody. As long as we got 7 Broncos at the end of all this, that's all I care about.
Oh, we found an extra Bronco. Wait, why is there 8?
Hey, Kevin, what's your guys' 20?
After the first fork in the road, we're now going straight, a little bit like 12 degrees camber, and there's a hydro pole, like a power line.
Good copy. Love the descriptions. Yep, keep it coming. Now, Kevin, back there, and Juana, you guys are coming up to another fork. You're gonna, at your next fork, you're gonna stay left at your next fork.
Left, copy that. We're just leaving that hydro line now.
We're going to work our way up the trail back to the main driveway to get ready for dinner. Here we go.
The night ride at the end was a lot of fun. It's dark now. We're hungry. They got some good food waiting for us. Overall, I learned quite a bit. There's some stuff we already knew, but some other features like manual driving was nice. And even then the descent was pretty cool, like the trail control descent. That was the first time I used it. Time to go home.